Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I promised you guys that I am going to stay consistent. So here I am dropping a video for you guys just to touch base with you about Manchester United. First thing I'm going to start off with is there's been some comments on Erik Ten Hag made by Omar Barada saying he's behind him, he's that they are behind the project, they are behind everything that's going on, and the manager, and they believe he's the right person. Just to let people know, if you don't know already, that the vote of confidence was actually before the Liverpool game. It wasn't uh, um, it wasn't after the Liverpool game. It was before. And also, let me say something. These things need to be addressed, right? Firstly, it has got to the point where the number of people who are questioning Erik Ten Hag is growing significantly. See, last season, it was very yo-yo because whilst in the midst of the season, even though Champions League situation happened come December time, I remember last season, we were still in the FA Cup and we were still scraping wins in the FA Cup. And the fans, they were in the mindset of it's the second season and there's a lot of dead wood. There's just a lot of players that you didn't like in the club. You didn't like the McTominays, the Maguires and etc. etc. You didn't like them. So it caused the fans to have a lot more patience towards Erik, right? You also didn't have a striker like Xerxes. You didn't have potential midfielders coming in. And the most important, the biggest thing of it all last season is all the news outlets, all the media outlets, all the fan platforms banged on about the injuries. Small percentage of people said injuries is not a big concern. Injuries happen to everyone, but a lot of people, if not majority of the people, were like, he's got injuries. If the players were not injured, he would be doing better. The performance this season has been the same as last season, whilst we did have injuries. Listen to what I'm saying. The patterns, routines, quote unquote routines, as Erik Ten Hag says, the positioning of the players, the gap in midfield, the lack of chance creation, the creativity from the team, and the management of a game whilst a game is going on, all is the same as it was last season whilst we had injuries. And this is his third season. On any given match day last season, there were players that he either wanted to keep in the club, kept starting, even though he had other players available, and players that he had brought in. There were numerous players in the starting 11 that he constantly used like that. This season, on the other hand, it's obviously different because I've put it out there that Ineos and the new footballing structure have backed him to the moon and back, whether that be from purchasing players to selling players. The lineup that we had against Liverpool is a very good lineup, whether people like it or not. The lineup we have compared to the players that play in the top 10 of the Premier League, we have very established players in our lineup. Why are the likes of, for example, Brighton can do better than us, or we might get a tough game against Brentford or Bournemouth, who are the mid-table teams? Why is that? Is that because we have mid-table players, or players that are deadwood, or players that have been here for a long time and are injury prone or whatever? No. Bar for bar, like for like, ability for ability, on any given match day, we have numerous players on our starting 11 that are better than the opposition players. Of course, now when you come to certain other players like Rashfords and wingers and maybe goalkeepers, depending on individual preference and opinion, you might say, no, we don't have the better players. But these players, there are some players in Manchester United anyways, that have won before. They've not just, it's not like they've never won anything. They have won before. They have experience in that team. They have Champions League experience. They have World Cup experience. They have experience of players who won domestic trophies, European trophy, this, that, the other. There's all sorts of experience in that squad, and especially in the starting 11. There's also players that have had experience in numerous different leagues, under numerous different managers, done well there. The football that we play is ugly. Full stop. That is what the buck has to stop somewhere. If Manchester United were playing half decent football, controlling the game half the time, and putting chances on plate for wingers and strikers, and we weren't finishing, we would definitely be able to point a finger at something. Notice the patterns. I am no football guru. I am no football pundit. I'm no football genius. But I am telling you what I am seeing. I am adding 2 plus 2. Notice how we, as a fan base, have pointed fingers year in, year out at different players. Yet when those players leave, we just seem to be going from there to there, to there, then back here. The pointing of players on the pitch never ends. Funnily enough, the football that we play never changes. How weird is that? The ugly football never changes. Certain characteristics in a manager that are fundamental: humility, honor, making sure he has pride for the club and not for himself, unity, leadership, man management, speaking skills. This manager, maybe he does have them because Erik is a successful manager. He's had trophies in his career. He's not a bad manager in terms of he's never won trophies. But what I am saying is he is not the fit for Manchester United. We agreed this when Jose Mourinho was in Manchester United, who is the one manager since Sir Alex Ferguson parted ways with Manchester United. He's the one manager that can tell anybody to shut up, and they would have to shut up. He's got the CV. Shut up. Erik, compared to Van Gaal's and Jose's, he doesn't. He does not have that. David Moyes won a European trophy with West Ham now. Do you know what I mean? When the journalist asks or mentions issues with Manchester United, he starts rambling and speaking about trophies. Instead of saying, he even says, I'm sorry for you. He is arrogant. People called me rude and abusive because I called him concussed. But only someone who is dizzy or delusional enough for him to say to someone who's pointing out your mistakes as, I'm sorry for you. That is arrogance. That is not delusional. Erik is not a silly, stupid, dumb individual. No, ladies and gentlemen, he's smart. He's smart enough to know how to be arrogant. He doesn't like being critiqued. He doesn't like having difficult questions answered. He doesn't like it. He absolutely hates it. Because I was told last season by a specific someone, due to how vocal I was about the club, that I will probably not be welcome in press conferences. Because my questions are, causing headache. And also I'm very, very vocal about the manager out. It was not trendy last season to say manager out because there were injuries. But nothing has changed. Mason Mount still injured. Luke Shaw still injured. Lilian Yoro is still injured. Malacia is still injured. Rasmus Højlund still out. Nothing has changed. It's just the squad has gotten a little bit better. A lot better, in my opinion. The squad has gotten a lot better, but the football has gotten no better. It's still ugly. That's the point. Now, you will say it's game week 3. Give him time. No problem. I do. But as I go through this process, every time there is a cut, you will feel pain. And I'm going to be there to press on that pain because the people who are so diehard fans of Erik, you do not actually think he's a good manager. You just like the thought of him becoming a good manager. You only can justify keeping him in a managerial position in Manchester United because it soothes your PTSD, or there is some sort of financial gain, or you are just incapable of analyzing football to that level. Or maybe just you're just a follower. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Maybe you're just very positive. If you're just a very positive person who loves to support the club no matter what, I appreciate you. You are a fan. Last season, there were people who didn't want the voices heard because it would affect certain industry viewership. It is facts. They would purposely go against Talk Sports, or Talk Sports chat a lot of shit anyways. But they would basically dial down and soften the tone when it comes to speaking about the manager, blaming the pitch, blaming this, blaming that, blaming the medical, blame everyone. That's fine. The thing is with the truth, right? There is only so much paddling you can do if you can't swim. Eventually, you will get tired. And when you start drowning in water, it is a very, very, very painful, scary, and dark feeling. You think you can make it out, and eventually, as you're drowning, there would be a point where you start accepting that this is it. I am not getting saved. I am not going to make it out this water, because you just keep sinking. That's the sad reality of drowning. And I saw how Manchester United were drowning from a year and a bit ago. I was vocal. People are fickle. And the thing is, when you stand up for yourself and when you stand on business, bullies do not like it. They hate it. And they turn the narrative to say you are the bad person. No, ladies and gentlemen, I stuck to my word. I did. I stuck to my word. I stood on my ground. When they gave him a new extension, those people came at me. They ridiculed people who make fan camps outside the stadium. They ridiculed. They started the division, not us. We didn't say outers are blocked on any platforms. Outers cannot have their say. They started, so some militant group. They did all of that. We didn't. There is no outers group. There is nothing like that. We simply think the manager may be a good manager, but he is not the right fit for Manchester United. He isn't. Because winning FA Cup and Carabao Cup is something that we have had with managers who are, some would say, less competent than Erik Ten Hag. Some people do not rate Jose Mourinho at all now. Jose's won trophies in Manchester United. Van Gaal has won trophies in Manchester United. And you guys hated their football. You guys hated it. You didn't like it one bit. So with Erik, it is clearly not any different. The only difference is you like the thought of him becoming a world-class manager with Manchester United and eventually, sunshine and rainbows. The wake up, smell the coffee, all of that is gone. That time is long gone. It's not about waking up. Some of you are lost causes. You are die-hard Erik Ten Hag fan to the point you would do anything for him. He could swear at you and you would say he's right. There's nothing you can say. That's fine. There are some of you that this supporting the football club is, it's just normal to you. It's just positive. It's the only positive you can find, and the club love fans like you, and we love fans like you, and you're a fan. No problem. No problem at all. But the truth is, now you will start noticing the change in narrative from certain fan bases because it is gonna start getting trendy. We beat Southampton. Everything is hallelujah. Okay. Then what do we have after that? We've got Palace and Spurs and European Barnsley as well. Southampton beat Barnsley. Long as we get the 3 points, or long as we beat someone, everything is okay. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who was told that he's a PE teacher, he's this, he's that, he's this, is that, said many things that actually ended up coming true. And most importantly, he said he wanted to go to the next step and he couldn't. So, in all honesty, all the previous manager under Manchester United were disrespected because they were not given the structure. And funnily enough, now people are saying the structure decided on the formation 4-2-4, and Erik is just delivering. So it is on the structure. The excuses will never end. All of this stuff will never end. So that's exactly why I want Erik ten Hag to stay in a job, let the drowning really settle in, because right now you're still coming out of water every so often, getting a gulp of air and then going back down. I want it to really settle in. Really, really, the pain has to really settle in to the point where people are sick of him. You are sick of him. And that's when we're really gonna be able to be ready to part ways with him. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like the video. If you did not enjoy the video, comment down below why you didn't enjoy the video. If you agree, also comment. Make sure, if you want to, you can follow me on all social media and subscribe to the channel. So far, the growth has been amazing. I really appreciate all you guys. Without you guys, it's not possible. And I just love reading all your comments. I really do. Whether you agree or not, I really do. Thank you. Yeah, Planet Faz on all social media. Like, subscribe, and everything else. I'll be live later on as well and bringing you regular content. Take care.